Hey, what's going on? It's Bill Burr, and it's time for the Thursday afternoon, just before Friday, Monday morning podcast. And I'm just checking in on you. I'm just checking in on you like a friend, like a pal. Just calling to say hello. You know what I mean? You know when somebody calls just to say, air quote, hello, and you know, as much as you're sitting there going, oh, you want to believe it. Oh, this is so nice. He's just saying hello. The thing is, the first 7 minutes. The first 7 minutes, you got to be on pins and needles. Like, when's it coming? When's it coming? When's the favor going to be asked? I never hear from this motherfucker. Now he's calling. Hey, just called to say what's going on. Blah, 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 blah. And they wind their fucking way around. They do-si-do you around the room. You're like, wow, isn't this nice? He just called to say hello. He's really asking me how I'm doing and my wife are doing. And then all of a sudden, here it comes. Oh, that's great. You know, interesting you should say that because, dude, I could use about $2,000. You know, I know it's a lot. I'm embarrassed to even ask you, but like, I just, you know, I hit a little bit of a rough patch. I'll get it back to you probably by the end of the month or maybe never, worst case scenario. I'll never bring it up again, but when you do, I'll make it seem like you're the asshole. Like, really? You're going to do this now? You're going to do this now in front of my family? They're not here, dude. They left you years ago. Oh, then you're going to bring that up? You know, one of those fucking guys, no matter what you do, somehow you're the douche. Somehow you're the one at fault. You know how that works. People, you know, they don't take responsibility for themselves. Like me, you know? I'm a fucking pillar of this community. That's when you know it's time to move. If I'm saying that type of shit and you live anywhere near me. So guess what? My old ass kitchen. My old ass fucking kitchen is, they started to work on it today. So we rented a small house around the corner because last time, long-time listeners, you know, we fucking ended up getting like smoker coughs. You can't live in a house where they're doing demolition. You just can't. I've done it twice. I did it once in New York. Once again, I was putting a kitchen in. It was the kitchen I had was the ugliest fucking kitchen you've ever seen in your life. The cabinets were like this, you know, like when they try to have like the flesh color of a slightly less pasty person than me. You know that color? It's not white. It's not peach. It's not tan. It's just that fucking color. It was that color. Counters and cabinets, and then it was a dark brown outline on the cabinets with that it was like, you know when they make a doll and it's supposed to be a Caucasian doll, like back in the day? You remember that It was that oh, that's perfect! Minus the rosy cheeks. It was that color. Right? Like the color of the thing's fucking foot. I had a doll foot-colored kitchen. Was shit brown. And I mean shit brown. You know? Shit fucking brown. Jesus Christ. You're an animal. Shit brown outline around the cabinet. And then I had this fucking stove that, like, I swear to God, was from like the Serpico era of New York. And I want to say the walls were yellow. Like, used to be a sun yellow, and then that basically over the years faded into your dreams have died, and this is your lot in life yellow. And, you know, I could barely afford to get the kitchen done, so I had to be there, and I was in a one-bedroom apartment, and they did the ceiling-to-floor fucking plastic shit. It gets most of it, but the rest of it goes right into your fucking lungs. I mean, it just took for fucking ever, and but when it was done, it was the shit. When it was finally fucking done. But I remember, you know what they forgot to do? They forgot to give me a little place to put a wastebasket. And they were like, oh, fuck. And then they just jerry-rigged this fucking horseshit that never made sense. I never even used it, and I lost a little cabinet space, which is crucial in any kitchen. Forget about when you got a little-ass fucking one-bedroom apartment in New York. So, the next time I did anything, you know, left New York, sold the old digs, came out here, you know, went back to rent, and then got a fucking house, and we did the whole downstairs, which turned into a fucking nightmare because my house is 93 years old at this point. So we had all kinds of cloth wiring. We had all kinds of galvanized pipe. We had a gas leak. At one point, there were rodents in the wall. So when we took the wall out, there was a bunch of rodent shits in the wall. You know? When they listed that thing and I went to buy it, they didn't say that. They didn't disclose that. You don't have to disclose to the prospective buyer that, oh, by the way, we had some sort of mouse or rat problem. And they ate through the fucking walls and they shit wherever they wanted to shit. And it was literally a shit show. So that took a fucking year to undo. The whole downstairs was completely fucked up, not up to code. Now that took the whole fucking year to get that fixed. So now that's fixed. So, and then upstairs, the floors were warped. I mean, if you put a marble on my floor, it would roll as fast as that thing that chased Indiana Jones. Like, that's how fucking warped they were, that giant fucking ball, you know? By the way, that's the only sci-fi type movie I could handle because, you know, it was weird. It was like science fiction, but it was like back in the day, you know? So there was still like peoples. There were people walking around with like fucking pointy ears and, you know, grabbing you by your fucking scapula. And then you, for some reason, pass out, even though it makes no fucking sense whatsoever. No, it's a Vulcan nerve. What? I mean, there's nerves everywhere. What exactly is there? The fuck is that dude's name? Spock. Right? Did he have a last name? Or was that not logical? You fucking douche. With your Mo from the Three Stooges haircut. You're not fooling anybody. Right? And your diva fucking eyebrows. That dude was a fraud. Anyways. The fuck? I started talking about Spock. No, I'm getting my fucking kitchen. So today was a big day. So we moved into the little fucking small place, right? And, you know, just grab clothes and shit. You know, that's it. Bottle of booze. I hate to say that I actually packed up a bottle of booze. I mean, Bill, how many fucking red flags do you need to see? I took that thing with me like, ooh, I got to bring that like I forgot my checkbook. I got to tell you, it was delicious. Delicious. A little bourbon called Yippee-Ki-Yay. Not motherfucker for all you diehard fans, just Yippee-Ki-Yay. Might be a whiskey. I don't even know. All I know is when you pour it into the glass, you can't put a fucking ice cube in it because it's just that fucking beautiful. It would be absolutely sacrilegious. My wife's fucking calling me right now. What is the problem? What is the problem? I heard you pull up. I can't figure out the keys. I sense that you're laying down enjoying yourself. Is there any way you could get up and not be relaxed? All right, here we go. Doing podcast. Oh, then I can't do that. That's too blunt. What's up? All right. What's up? What should I go with? Cutie? Let's go with Sweetie. Sweetie Pie? Is that too much? Is that too pandering? We're going to go with Sweetie. Question mark. No emoji. Emojis for fucking boys. All right? Real men don't emoji. All right? They take their big fucking deviled egg eating thumbs and they try to... They do the best they can. I use emojis. My favorite thing to do is to use emojis with another man who fucking, for some reason, will get like homophobic if you send him one. You know? And once you sense that on them, you just keep sending more and more emojis, and you gradually build your way up to that the little fucking smiley face that's blowing the kiss that's a little heart, you know? Anyway, so we fucking... where? Guest house? No. What the fuck? What are you talking about? Oh, Jesus Christ. What the fuck does it matter where the fuck I'm doing it? Guest house? You mean garage? They're always trying to fucking hook shit up. No, fucking downstairs. She's out in the driveway. All right. Anyways, plowing ahead. Why would you answer it, Bill? Why would you answer it? When am I going to learn that? You just don't fucking answer it. And then they'll be like, where were you? What were you doing? You see them, and then you just get it all out. And it's so much easier to say it than to try to fucking text it. Forget about that whole voice message thing. It always ends up fucking something up. Especially pronouns, so it never makes any sense. That and there. Or maybe I'm a mumbling jackass. I'll tell you right now who could not voice text is Shannon Sharp. Jesus Christ. I don't know who's harder to understand him. Understand is him or that fucking guy who picked me up in Scotland. Bull. Hey, Bull, Willem. You prefer Bull or Willem? Okay, you're looking at me. I don't know what. Are you literally talking to me? You prefer Bull or Willem? Anyway, so today was the first day that they did the demolition for the fucking the kitchen, right? So I go over there because I got to get some mail, and I forgot some dumb shit like mouthwash and shit like that. So I went over there to go get the mail and all that crap. And I went in there, and it's unfucking believable. It's unreal how long it takes to build a kitchen, but to take one apart. I mean, these guys, they were down to the tile. Shit was just gone. This is what was killing me, was, because it's all grout and all that type of shit. Like, I was downstairs getting the mouthwash, and I heard him upstairs like, bam, 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 bam. It's like, I have to get the fuck out of here. You don't want to hear that sound ever in your house. I just kept picturing these old Revolutionary War nails coming out of, like, fucking, what do they call that? Support beams. What do they call them? The main thing. Like, you can't fuck with that wall because that wall is a load-bearing wall. Coming out of one of those load-bearing walls. So anyways, allegedly it's going to take 8 weeks. So what's the over-under on that, guys? Come on, it's football season. I tell you right now, like if you had to bet the over-under on a home improvement project, if you went to bet on that in Vegas, like the fucking over would be off the charts. You'd have to bet 1,000 to make $1. And the under would be, well, they never give you that good of odds, but you know what I mean. So anyways, that shit began today. And we're finally gonna fix everything because we had, oh, you can see the kitchen in the pie crust making video. And you'll see me on this little island. And that was back when having an island was this thing to have in a kitchen. And whether you had the space or not, and we completely did not have the space, and none of it made sense. They had the sink up against the wall instead up against the windows. The stove, instead of being up against the wall, was like the size of I could barely get a fucking cookie sheet in there. And you guys know how I like the sweets there. So they're finally getting rid of all that. They're going to open it up a little bit, hopefully. And, it's not the biggest kitchen, but I would just like to, have shit work and not have some big fat fuck hippo of an island in the middle. Push it up against the wall there. So they're getting rid of everything. By the way, the last people who fucking put the kitchen in, rather than doing it the right way and digging up the old floor, they just put the tile on top of the old floor. You know that thing. Let's just keep fucking building on top of shit that's fucked up, right? So, and then we had this beautiful swinging door, like this old school servant door back when people had people coming over cooking. I'm not talking slavery here. I don't want to make people uncomfortable. I'm talking just indentured servant. These are white people coming over. The latest group of white people from Europe, we'll say. We'll say this was a politically correct house. They only had same-colored indentured servants, right? So when they raised the floor, they cut the door. They cut it up top. And it just kills me because I want to keep the fucking door. But this guy's claiming that there's a lot of doors like that around here because a lot of people redone the houses. So hopefully I can get one that fits. So I'm having them take it off the fucking tile. And underneath that, I'm guessing, is a hardwood kitchen floor that has now been fucked because of this tile and all the glue and shit that they put on it. So taking that up right down to the plywood, which I know is rotted the fuck out. I know it is. Because when we put a pantry in there, when we got down to the plywood, I literally could have, if I gave a karate instruction with it, you guys would want to take my class. Be like, Jesus Christ, how did you punch through 4 layers of fucking plywood? Well, I let it marinate for 23 years under water. 23 years, since 1923. Anyways, so they're going to pull all of that shit up and just get it down to whatever you call the braces. And then they're going to look down there. And if there's any wiring that's fucked up, if there's any pipes that are fucked up, they're taking it out. They're not going around the shit. They're taking it all out, and then they're doing it the right fucking way. And I'm telling you, I'm telling you, whoever gets this house after me, all right? I don't know how long I'm going to stay there. Whoever gets this fucking house after me, you're not going to have to do shit. Unless I stay in it so long that the fucking kitchen goes out of style or some shit. But whatever. All I know is when you go into the walls, it's going to have done right. I don't know. I don't have that fucking in me. I don't have it in me to just sort of half-ass something. You know, people do that. It's just bricks and mortar. Fuck the next guy. Why would you do that to him? What if he's a good shit, right? What if he's a good freckled fuck like me? You know what I mean? You're just going to stick me with that, you cunt? So anyways, that's what's happening today. Tomorrow, I'm flying out to Durham, North Carolina to do 3 nights of shows with the fucking former frontman of a rock band for 20 years, Dean Del Rey, turned comedian. One of the great guys in stand-up comedy. And I'm psyched because, he's been dropping all kinds of weight. That's the kind of person I want to be around. And, he's like all those rock stars. He's fucking sober. You know what I mean? They all got fucking stories of doing heroin with, the lead singer of fucking whoever. Pick a fucking band. I don't want to say heroin. Whatever. They did Blow with the fucking guy from Quiet Riot. Kevin DuBrow. Rest his soul. Rest his fucking soul there. So I got that going on. But last night I sat in with the fucking band, and it was funny because I told you when I went over to I was in Italy. I was just I was jet lagged, and I always end up stumbling on some sort of fucking shit on YouTube. Like the first time I went over to Europe, since I've been doing the podcast, I somehow stumbled upon somebody who had uploaded all 4 of the Pittsburgh Steelers' first 4 wins in the Super Bowl, the games in their entirety. And I just sat and watched, and I binged watched them because I was afraid the NFL was going to take them down. And every time I go over there, I find something fucking I just end up in some weird part of the fucking internet where I find something cool. And I ended up getting across, I don't know, I was just thinking about back in the day. Somebody asked a question about like me taking drum lessons and who I studied with. And I used to be at this music store that was in downtown Brockton. I don't even know if it's there anymore. That was yet another victim of Guitar Center. But that reminded me that one of the big drummers out of there was that Bobby Chouinard. I hope I'm saying his name right. Chouinard, however you say it. And I was like, he used to play for Billy Squier. And I started watching Billy Squier. And then I was like, this fucking guy was great. It's a great front man. He sort of straddled the line of fucking rock band, pop band. Did it great. And even the video that they said, took him down. If you close your eyes, that was a hit song in the 80s. Total hit song. They just had the wrong video. And unfortunately, they didn't have another hit after that. So that's the last thing everybody remembers, right? Your last season. You're only good as your last game, right? So anyways, long story short, friend of mine hit me up, and he mentioned he was doing a show. Frankie Perez, who, if you guys ever saw that time, I got to sit in with Dave Kushner and a couple of his buddies, wink, wink, and play Highway to Hell. He was the lead singer. This guy's just like a fucking amazing singer. So he mentioned that he was going to be down at, there's a bowling alley. The fuck is it even? I never know the names of places. It's right on like Hollywood Boulevard, right around the corner from where they do the Oscars. And so he said his band was playing. I was like, yeah, I'd love to go down and fucking see you play or whatever, yada, yada, yada. And then he goes, hey, man, you want to sit in on a song? And I told you, that's my fucking rule. I don't force my Hollywood. I don't force my hobby. Jesus Christ, there's a fucking Freudian slip. I don't force my ego. I don't force my hobby on you. But if you ask me, I'm going to say yes. I don't give a shit how terrifying the situation is. I'm going to say yes. So I go, all right, well, we'll figure out this song. I said, by the way, man, this guy is way better than people remember. And I sent him this Billy Squier, The Lonely is the Night. And then he wrote back, he goes, dude, I fucking love that guy. He goes, you want to do that song? And that just struck me as funny. I was like, yeah, let's fucking do it. Everybody's always playing AC/DC, Zeppelin, and all that shit. I'm like, fuck it, let's do it. So then I was texting my other buddies saying, yeah, man, we're going to do Lonely as the Night by Billy Squier. And they were all like, That's an interesting choice. But I knew Frankie was going to kill it. So anyway, so I go down there, and he just has this fucking monster fucking band of players. Like, they're sitting there tuning up to play, and they were going to do a cover of Dazed and Confused. And the other band's like, load in their shit. And just a guitar player played the first sort of notes of the song. And I don't mean like the bass line. I just mean some of the licks. And he had a Telecaster, just like Jimmy had, when he first came over here, played at the Whiskey. And I was just like, oh, fuck, are they going to do Dazed and Confused? And then he breaks out the bow. And I swear to God, man, it sounded like the album. Then the whole band kicks in. And the woman on drums, Valerie Franco, right? There's like a house drum kit. She says, get that shit out of there. Puts in her own fucking kit. She's got a Vista-like kit. What do they call it? The candy striped vintage one. They start micing it up. It sounds fucking unbelievable. And I'm listening to her play, and I'm going like, oh, shit. I got to go on after that. Like, they're going to pass off one song to me after she plays, right? And this is just the sound check. I didn't realize that she was only going like 40%. I tweeted a video of her playing a cover to Mute Math, of all people. And I heard that she's going to be doing something with Darren King, their drummer. But, dude, I got to tell you, when that fucking show started, the woman that I saw at soundcheck was like, it was not the same person. And I was blown away by the soundcheck. Dude, she fucking destroyed. The set began, she just hit the cymbals like twice, and I was like, what the fuck? That sounded better than anything I've played in 20 years. Absolutely fucking was murdering on the drums. And when it was coming time for me to play the song I was sitting in, I was literally getting the same butterflies I used to get way back in the day when I first started doing stand-up, and there was somebody killing on stage, and I was just... comedians know this, where all of a sudden you feel like you're 2 inches tall, going like, I can't follow that. So she gets off, right? They finish thing, murders it for 6-7 songs, and then she comes back, hands me the stick. She's just like, all right, you're up. And I'm like, yeah, yeah, no problem, right? So I sit down and we go to play it, and the whole fucking thing went great, except I fucked up one major part, right? Like the guitar riff, there's a part where the whole band drops out, and the guitar plays, right? And then on the snare and the floor tom, you and the bass player at the same time go, just like that. Right? I fucking forgot to do that part. So the guitar player, total rock star, goes, and I missed my cue, and then so it's just the bass player going, boop, 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 no, boop, 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 boop. I felt like such a fucking asshole. I think I literally said, oops. Like, if anybody, for whatever reason, was filming during that, if, everybody's got the fucking iPhones. If anybody, you might even see me say, oops. But I don't think anybody noticed, because I think most of the crowd was like, what fucking song is this? But it ended up going. I was nervous about the first part, because the first time they drop out, he does all the cymbal barks and a couple of nods to Bonham there, and those things went off without a hitch. So then you start, dude, it's all like, I've found the few times I've ever sat in a band, the second you lose your focus, you just can't do it. All those years I played, you just play along with like, playing along with records versus just being the only person playing is an entirely different game. And then if you sit in at a sound check and the singer's not singing, then you really have to be fucking paying attention. And I just, once I got past that little fucking shit on the hi-hat and the little Bonham lick, I was like, oh man, it's all fucking downhill from here. This is all pretty much straightforward shit. And fucking Freckles, as always. At some point, no matter how well I'm playing, I always turn back into the pumpkin, which I think is apropos considering the shape of my head. But anyways, I want to thank all those guys for letting me sit in. They were fucking amazing. This other guy, Sal, on keys. I apologize to some of the other people. I mean, there was like 5 or 6 people up there. Another woman, Kayla, singing her ass off. It was fucking awesome, man. And I swear to God, in another life, the same way I would have done comedy and continued to sleep on a futon, right until my 40s, right up to my 40s, like I basically did. I would have done that to try to make it as a drummer. It's just too much fucking fun. But anyways, let's get down to the fucking thing at hand. I saved to the end. Oh, shit. Ba, 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 ba. Who the fuck watched the football? Huh? You know, the big story. Tom Brady suspended for 4 games. The fucking Indianapolis Colts, there'll always be Baltimore to me. The Indianapolis Colts, whoa, they took a cunt's air out. That's why we lost by 90 fucking points. Which really, losing by 35 really is about 70 fucking points, you dopes. So anyways, and now we got our backup quarterback coming in there. You know, not only do we win, the fucking Colts lose. And you know what's the greatest thing about it? We got another matinee idol as a quarterback. Does that guy look? He does not have the looks of a backup quarterback, right? He looks like the fucking lead in all those coming-of-age 80s movies. The guy who's dating the chick that the nerd wants to go out with, right? That fucking guy. This is what Indianapolis, you're never going to understand. Our quarterback is better than your quarterback. Our backup is better than your quarterback. They're better looking. They're better in the clutch. They got more jewelry over there. How do you like that, Jim Irsay? What the fuck are you going to bitch about now? I love it. I love all Jimmy has to do is just get one more victory. Fucking terrible Tom comes back all fucking, fucking anger snorting out of his fucking flared out nostrils. A nice pissed off 38-year-old Tom Brady coming back the 5th game of the season to give the fucking Indianapolis Colts the old fucking spanking they deserve. It's going to be tremendous. I can't fucking wait. Oh, can you imagine? The dream of all dreams is the Patriots go 4-0 and the fucking Colts go 0-4. And then we hang that 5th loss around their fucking head. And then I guarantee you there'll be some sort of fucking rule change spearheaded by Jim Irsay. I'm telling you. The biggest bullshit suspension of all fucking time. Biggest bullshit suspension of all time. Fucking Vikings heat up the ball, get a $50,000 fine. That's it. Jesus fucking Christ. Poor Tom Brady with his matinee good looks and his supermodel wife and his hundreds of millions of dollars. This poor bastard has to sit there and rest. Oh, he's going to come back fresh as a daisy. It's going to drive Colt fans nuts. Do you have any idea how clear his pores are going to be, having not sweated for 4 fucking games? All Colt fans are shitting right now. Well, it's just it. He's going to be rusty. Tom Brady, rusty, is better than any Indianapolis Colt fucking quarterback in the history of them being in Indianapolis. Now, if you want to go back to Baltimore, they got Johnny Unitas, all right? But Baltimore is a real fucking football town, which is why Baltimore's such a great football town. They accepted the sad sack Cleveland Browns. And the second they went there, what happened? The whole fucking thing turned around. The whole thing turned around. They got out of the pollution and the vibe of Cleveland, and look what the fuck happened. You know what I mean? But there's hope now for the startup Cleveland Browns. Right? Sort of the Gallagher part 2 of the Cleveland Browns, right? The Ravens sold their act to them. The original Browns sold their act to the junior ones, right? And now the Cleveland, they won a fucking championship, right? Now all they need, like this year, I got to jump on the fucking Red Sox bandwagon. This is how much I'm on the bandwagon. I'm going to name every Red Sox I know right now, all right? Big Papi and Pedroia. That's all I fucking know. I told you, like fucking 2010, by then, like the 90th fucking person had tested positive for roids, and I gave up on baseball. I was just like, all right, either fucking make this shit legal or get it out of the game. I'm so sick of getting excited about shit that 6 years you tell me doesn't really count. So, this is the best time of fucking year. I can't wait. And my first team is obviously the Red Sox, and then my second team is the Cleveland Indians. And then, of course, I got to root for the Cubs. So I'm not a bad guy. I root for my home team, and then whoever's had the longest fucking drought, I'm rooting for them. You can't get mad at that. I have an idea right now, and I don't even want any money for it, Major League Baseball. I got an idea. This is for people like me, all right? Where all of a sudden your team's in first place in September. The only reason why I'm not paying right now for the MLB package is you're going to make me pay for the whole fucking season. All right? This is what you should have. Come September 1st, you offer the MLB bandwagon package. All right? You charge people for a month. I mean, I'm telling you right now, you're leaving a bunch of money on the table. All right? Because there's a whole bunch of fucking, especially if it's a team like the Red Sox. They got fans all around the world. You know, Yankee fans really have fans all around the world. And I just traveling, you will always see Yankee gear. The same way, like over here, if you're going to see some fucking soccer wear, you're going to see Man United for the longest fucking time. So the amount of fucking money that you're leaving on the goddamn table, I'm telling you, just throwing it out there. The MLB bandwagon package. You know what? And you let the people sign up, and then what you do is whatever team they sign up for is like a gift. You give them like a pre-worn out baseball hat with their team logo on. Like for me, like a Red Sox one, you put like a little salt there, you know, make it seem like I've been working out wearing this fucking thing for years when I really just got it, you know? Just a suggestion. Just throwing it out there. Oh, by the way, so somebody sent me a great link. I should retweet this. Had the origins of all the NFL football teams. So I went ahead and looked up the Rams. Now that I brought up that question, like how did they become the Rams when they started in Cleveland? There's no Rams out there, or mountain sheep, whatever the fuck they call them. It just turns out somebody related to the people that bought the team was a big fan of this college team. And a lot of people don't realize this. For the first, I think, decade and a half or so of, a couple of decades. For the first couple of decades, college football was way bigger than the pros. The pros was considered boring and old guys, and no one gave a fuck. And all these colleges, because they'd already been playing, they had like a 30-year head start, had all these followings already. I mean, the Ohio State-Michigan thing was already happening before the NFL even fucking took a snap, I believe. Might be wrong on that. It's been a while since I read up on that shit. So, anyways, the way that they came up with the Rams, there was somebody associated with the first people that owned that Cleveland Ram franchise, and that person was a big fan of this college program and football program, and their mascot was the Rams. And they were very successful and everything, so they took the same thing. So that's how you got the Cleveland Rams. And by the way, here's the sad tale of St. Louis sports. All right? I read this the other day, so I'm going off the top of my fucking dumb dome, so I might fuck this up. St. Louis, as far as their football goes, they have lost 2 different franchises now. But here's the reason why they can't be mad. I'll tell you, next time I do a show in St. Louis, this is going to be a rough one, is they got the Cardinals from Chicago. St. Louis Cardinals started in Chicago. They're now Arizona Cardinals. Started in Chicago. And how they became the Cardinals was they just had these red jerseys. And they said it was a cardinal red, and then it just stuck with them. But they never put the bird on the side of the helmet to 1960, believe it or not. So they started in Chicago. So this is like when Ray Allen came to the Celtics, and then he left for the Heat, and everybody was getting pissed in Boston, like, oh, what the fuck? That guy's a traitor. It's like, dude, that's how we got this guy. All right? If you sign a free agent, as a sports fan, you have to understand that's like dating a stripper. All right? Don't fucking get too emotionally involved in that person. All right? That person has figured out that sports at the professional level is just that. It's a fucking business. So they don't give a fuck. They're going to bounce around the goddamn league. So anyways, they fucking started in Chicago, moved to St. Louis, were there from like 1960 or something like that, 1950-something to 1987. Then they left. Then they got the St. Louis Rams in 1996. And they stayed there for 20 years, 21 seasons. And then they went back to L.A. All right? And L.A. got them from fucking Cleveland. So L.A. couldn't get mad because you got them from Cleveland. St. Louis can't be mad that they went back to L.A. because you got them from L.A. You know, these are these hoary stripper fucking franchises. Which why it would be so fucking perfect if Oakland ends up in Las Vegas, much to their fans' sorrow. I mean, that's one of the biggest hoary franchises of all fucking time. We're the Oakland Raiders. Well, we're going to move to L.A. It's better here. Oh, fuck this. Oh, will you take us back, Oakland? And they do, with open arms. Oakland went back in with open fucking arms, and look at them now. Now they're talking about how they're going to fucking move to Vegas. That's a travesty, man. That is a fucking travesty. I think that the city of Oakland ought to be able to retain the rights to that fucking logo, because that's the best logo, best uniform, certainly in football, if not all of sports. And, yeah, somehow retain it the way the fucking Browns did. It's like, all right, you want to fuck, the Cleveland fans did. It's like, all right, you want to fucking go to Vegas? Yeah, go be the fucking Vegas Gamblers. You know? But NFL would do that because they're so fucking pure. Even though you know what's funny? I can't even remember the name of that fucking gambling site that they were in bed with last year. Was it Daily something or other? DraftKings. Remember those guys? Everybody fucking walked away from that shit, huh? Because everybody bitched at the state level. They're like, hey, you're gambling in our state. We don't approve of that. Yeah, fuck you. You don't approve it. This is how those kids at DraftKings fucked up, is they didn't give everybody a taste. If they gave everybody a little taste off the skim, like casino, give them the skim, every state would have been fucking fine with it. But anyways, so getting back to St. Louis. So they've had two sports franchises. They've never had their own, though. They were never awarded a fucking franchise, which I'm calling right now is going to happen. Maybe in the next 20 years when old Freckles is 68, closing in on 70, still doing pull-ups, still doing the podcast, still yelling at his fucking whatever the fuck it is at that, the computer chip in his head at that point, right? I think that they're going to build a fucking state-of-the-art stadium. They're finally going to get their own fucking franchise. Okay? Not some fucking, some retread or some bullshit like that, right? Some old shoe you put a new sole on. Fuck that. They're getting a brand new one. So then you move to their basketball. They had the St. Louis Hawks, right? Who I want to say won a championship. I know we beat them in the NBA Finals in like 58 or something like that. They fucking moved to Atlanta. So they've lost one basketball team. They lost two fucking football teams. And then that brings us to the St. Louis Browns. The St. Louis Browns were designated, I guess, to be in St. Louis, but for whatever fucking reason, they played one lame duck year in the early, 1900 or something like that, 1899 or some shit. Like I said, I read all of this stuff a few days ago. It's not like I'm some fucking, I don't take it to this level, but it just was interesting to me. They fucking played in 1900, one season, lame duck, in Milwaukee, and were actually called the Brewers. I don't know how many years before the Seattle Pilots moved over there and became the Brewers. I believe that's who they were before that. That was I don't know when the fuck that was, the 60s, early 70s. But anyways, they were the Brewers for 1 year, and then they moved to St. Louis and became the St. Louis Browns, and I forget what the fuck they were named after. They took the name from something else. So they actually at one point had two teams. They had the St. Louis Cardinals, which are still there, thank God, right? And then they had the St. Louis Browns. The St. Louis Browns eventually moved to Baltimore and became the second coming of the Baltimore Orioles. Because the first Baltimore Oriole team moved to New York, was called the New York Highlanders, and then they became the New York Yankees. Believe it or not, they were originally from fucking Baltimore. So that brings us back to St. Louis. All right? The St. Louis Baseball Cardinals and the St. Louis Blues. All right? That has to be the heart of the city. Even though, the St. Louis Blues have been breaking their fucking hearts every year. You still got to love them. Right? And the Cardinals, other than the Yankees, have the most championships with 11. How fucking nuts is that? That's the closest team to the Yankees is still 16, a decade and a half of winning straight plus 1 year. No, wait. Is that right? Yeah. Anyways, so they've lost two football teams, a basketball team, and a baseball team. They have lost 4 fucking teams. Okay, and I'm trying to have empathy for the St. Louis fan. But at some point, people of St. Louis, you got to be looking at yourself and you got to start asking the right questions. Like, what am I bringing to the table? What am I not bringing to the table that is making this franchise turn around and look up in the stands and be like, we got to get the fuck out of here? You know? You got no one to blame but yourself, St. Louis. No, I'm fucking with you. It sucks. Hopefully they'll get their own franchise someday. They deserve it, right? I would think so. Like the level of hockey fan and baseball fan. I mean, St. Louis fans, people routinely say are the greatest baseball fans out there. You know? As knowledgeable as Boston Red Sox fans without, what's up, Chief? What's going on, dude? You feeling all right, buddy? None of the aggression, you know? So anyways, that should be enough time, right? Oh, Jesus, I did 40 minutes. I did a little overtime for you there. I want to say there was one other thing I wanted to talk about. Oh, so I watched the first Rams game. I've decided that I'm gonna root for the Rams, that they're out. I mean, I'm a Patriots fan, but like I'm gonna watch them out here because it's cool, man. They're in the division with the Cardinals, 49ers, Seattle. I never get to watch this division. It's fucking great. And I was sick of watching Charger games, for God's sakes. Jesus fucking Christ. You know, there's a certain level of fucking masochism you have to be a fucking San Diego Charger fan. I don't know what the fuck they did. I don't know if that stadium is built on an old Native American gravesite. I don't know what the fuck those people ever goddamn did. But Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. Not only the way they lose, the way they just rip those people. And maybe they're just paying the price for the absolute most perfect weather in the United States, San Diego. Something has to give. What do you want? You want perfect weather 365? Or you want fucking 16 Sundays, you know, of right there, Fred. You know what I mean? That didn't make sense. I'm saying the trade-off. The trade-off is you get the old right there, Fred, for 16 Sundays out of the year. 365 minus 16 is 349 of absolute fucking beauty. Most people would take that. Certainly not sports fans. All right, I think I'm done here. Yeah, that Rams game. Jesus Christ, was that brutal or what? Steve Young said the funniest shit. I don't know if you guys caught it right before halftime. He goes, they showed, I guess the Rams have some high-level draft pick or something like that, or they traded for somebody. He's like a backup quarterback or some kid just learning. And Steve Young's like, yeah, he's going to stand there on the sideline, you know, hold a clipboard and, just watch and try and learn, you know. And then he pauses and he goes, I don't know what he's learning tonight. I can't believe they only had 85 yards of total offense, something like that. It seemed to me like they had a little more than that. But whatever. So I'm happy for Los Angeles. You finally got NFL football back here. My condolences to St. Louis, but I'm calling it right now, putting the good vibes out there. The next time, you're getting your own. Not a fucking retread. Not the Jacksonville Jaguars moving in. Not the fucking Oakland Raiders. Fuck Vegas. We're going to St. Louis. You're going to get your own. And what would you call it? Give it a nice, good Midwestern name. Why don't you do it already? Come up, send me some good names. St. Louis, oh, jeepers, creepers, right? You guys are so fucking wholesome out there. Yet still racist as any other place, but you're just so fucking wholesome. All right, that's the, I was just checking in on you. Who's kidding who? Have a great weekend, you cunts. Enjoy the music. I don't pick it out. Andrew Themelis, the great Andrew Themelis does, so tweet at him or at the MM podcast. And we're also going to play a half hour of some clips from a podcast in a Monday or a Thursday gone past. Go fuck yourselves. Enjoy the music. Oh, wait, I got to do the advertising. Here comes some advertising. Oh, give me the loot. Loot Crate, everybody. Looking for gear, collectibles, houseware, and more from your favorite pop culture franchises? Well, we got you covered. Fucko! Loot Crate offers a range of geek and gamer items for less than $20 a month. Want to bring your loot to the next level? Motherfucker. Get a bigger box with an even bigger loot with Loot Crate DX. If you're more the type to wear your geeky heart on your sleeve, then Lootwear... Ugh, I hate people who do that. Then Lootwear, they sit Indian style. It's almost like they're daring to get the shit kicked out of them. You know what I mean? And you know what? To bring an old tried and true thing back, they're asking for it. Then Lootwear, our monthly wearables and accessories subscription is what you're looking for. Get ready for September's high-octane theme, speed. This month's Loot Crate has a high-octane assortment of goodies from Batman, CW's The Flash and Arrow. No way, not CW. Who the fuck is that? Battlestar Galactica, Iron Man, and Gone in 60 Seconds. If you have a style need, you'll love our Speed Lootwear collection featuring Sonic socks for when you gotta go fast. What are these people, 5 years old? These socks are my fast socks. A Transformers wearable for your world-saving needs and a winning Mario Kart tee and more. This Lootwear collection is going to zoom away quick. You have until the 19th at 9 p.m. Pacific. Are they trying to give these people more acne, Nia? To subscribe and receive that month's crate, and when the cutoff happens, that's it. It's over. Make sure to head to www.lootcrate.com/Burr and enter code Burr to save $3 off on any new subscription. Oh, look who's back. Boo-doo, boop, boop. Me undies, dressing like Iron Man. Boo-doo, me undies. Oh, fry it in a pan. I don't know, people. It's fucking late. All right? Stick your balls in a souffle. Whip them out, and then you say, hey, they're still edible, only if you're a chick, and maybe if you're bisexual, who knows? They even make them for the ladies to dry their privates. All right, whether you're wearing a suit or sweats, you spend almost 24 hours a day in your underwear, unless you're like Jake Gyllenhaal, one of People Magazine's 50 most beautiful people. Who's that guy who keeps fucking, like, just kayaking naked? Orlando Bloom. Jesus Christ. What the fuck? Why would you do that? You know they fucking call these people. My Twitter followers are going down. I'm going to show my hairy ass crack on my fucking surfboard paddle thing there. That's the technical name for it, the surfboard paddleway. He needs some fucking MeUndies. But instead of making a statement like Superman in his tights under his everyday clothes, your underwear is probably boring. MeUndies is here to change that. Please include all... I'm gonna, if you fucking send them to me, I'll read it. Every pair of MeUndies is made from sustainable source modal. Finally learned how to say it, modal. A fabric that's twice as soft as cotton. Nothing can describe the fit and feel of MeUndies, yet the copy will continue. But once you try them, you'll understand why they're called the world's most comfortable underwear. And if you don't love your first pair of MeUndies, they're free. No questions asked. MeUndies has dozens. Well, what are they going to take them back? Throw them in a washing machine and send them out again? MeUndies has dozens of styles and limited edition prints to help you make a statement with your underwear. Remember, whether anyone can see them or not, remember Superman. Shipping in the U.S. is free. In Canada, you can save up to $8 a pair with MeUndies subscription plan. Get the subscription off a single pair. Get 20% off your first order when you go to MeUndies.com/Burr. That's MeUndies.com/Burr for your 20% off your first order. Hey! MeUndies.com/Burr. Then next.
Why do you say it like that?
It's because it's boring copy. All right, everybody, here we go. Your favorites. My favorite and mine, the new hit of the advertising. It's our good old friends, old ZipRecruiter. Are you hiring? You know where to post your job to find the best candidates, huh? Posting your job in one place. Oh, that's not enough to find quality candidates. What do we do? If you want to find the perfect hire, you need to post all your jobs on the top job sites there. And now you can. With ZipRecruiter.com, you can post your job to 100-plus job sites, including social media networks like Facebook and Twitter, all with a single click. Holy shit. Find candidates with their titties out on Instagram. Find candidates in any city or industry nationwide. Just post once and watch your qualified candidates roll into Zip. Easy to use interface. No juggling emails or calls to your office. Quickly screen candidates, rate them, and hire the right person fast, man. Find out today why ZipRecruiter has been used by over 800,000 businesses. And right now, my listeners can post on jobs on ZipRecruiter for free by going to ZipRecruiter.com/Burr. That's ZipRecruiter.com/Burr. One more time, to try it free, go to ZipRecruiter.com/Burr. You know, a few weeks ago, somebody was asking me, they wanted to break up with somebody. And I was saying, listen, you got to listen, the person who has it down, how to do the breakup, was Minivan Men Podcast's own celebrity star, Al Madrigal. But if you don't have time to email Al Madrigal, just listen to LL Cool J, Big Old Butt. I don't know why. I never really listened to him when I was growing up. Mama said knock you out. Oh, did she? Is that what she said, LL Cool J? I don't care. I just wasn't into it in his deodorant in his armpits when he was jamming with those white guys. I never got into it. But lately, I don't know. I don't know what happened. He's just come onto my YouTube shit. I don't know what it is, but I was listening to some of his stuff. Well, I know why. Yesterday I was trying to remember, what was that song he used to have? That I'm the type of guy, and you're the type of guy. What the fuck was that? And then I listened to it, and I kind of liked it, but I hated that part of it. Really annoyed me. I'm like, oh, that's why I never downloaded this shit. But then on the side, they had LL Cool J, Big Old Butt. I play drums. I'm like, well, let me hear what this track sounds like. And I put it on, and he basically teaches you how to break up with a girl in that song, or that rap, or that rhyme, whatever, however you're supposed to say it. He breaks it down, and just in fucking 11 seconds, he sits his girls down. He's basically hanging out in some sunglass hut or some shit, and some girl comes in with an insane ass, and he does what every guy does. He stares at it, and he thinks, I want to fuck that. But oh shit, I have a girlfriend. So what does he do? Does he sneak around on her? No. He goes home and he sits her down. He says, listen, I met this girl named Tina, okay? Tina's got a big old butt. I know that I said I'd be true. I'm really whiting this up. But Tina got a big old butt. So I'm leaving you. That's just fucking airtight. You can't fuck with that. He was 100%. I don't even know if she could get mad. I think I think women so expect guys to be lying, weaselly pieces of shit that if you actually hit them with that level of honesty, I think they would just be stunned. Just like the chick in the video. I didn't think that was bad acting. I think that they would absolutely be stunned if you just came home and said, listen, I met this girl. I know that I said I'd be faithful to you, but she's better looking than you, so I'm breaking up with you. What is the comeback? There's nothing. That'd be like if your girl came home and said, listen, I know we're together, but this guy, I met him at the mall. His dick is twice the size of yours, and he's got a better car, so it's kind of a no-brainer. I'm out of here. What are you going to do? What are you going to do with your little dick and your fucking Domino's pizza? It's over. You just got to fucking be like, you only go around once. So, yeah, I get it. So anyway, if you don't have time to email Al Madrigal, which you should, just listen to LL Cool J, Big Old Butt. You got to see his face when he goes, so I'm leaving you. It's can't explain it. It's way meaner than it has to be. That's what it makes it funny. Because there's a way to read that where you're kind of letting them down easily, But he didn't. He just did it this is how it works. So there you go. Look at that. On a holiday. Anyways, this is the Monday Morning Podcast. It is the end of May, everybody. All right, how many days are in May? 30 days has September, so does April and November. All the rest have a bunch of other dates except for February. Go fuck yourself with your song. So you got 30? 31. fuck, what is it? April has 30. June has 30. May's 31. Well, what, I got the little thing I can click right here. Oh, I have a computer. I don't need to think. Right? It has... Why is it in September? Oh, for Christ's sake. Do I have to click another button? It has 31 days. All right, so you guys have until Thursday midnight to make something of May 2012. All right? Are you in a fucking relationship you don't want to be in? Do you want to be in this relationship you don't want to be in June? Why don't you celebrate the end of May by getting out of your fucking relationship and sitting down and basically just go with the LL Cool J vibe. Hold her hand and just go straight honesty. And then what's she going to do? Or what's he going to do? They're going to flip the fuck out, but the die has been cast. The ship is set sail. The ball is already rolling. The sun is setting. The rain is falling. Whatever the fuck you want to call it. It's out there. Just put it out there. Let him scream and yell. And in your head, as much as it sucks, you're going to be like, okay, I did it. I did it. Now I just got to sit here and get yelled at. And how long can somebody really yell before they lose their voice? An hour? 90 minutes? In an hour and a half, I'm going to be in the car listening to LL Cool J, driving away from that thing I didn't want to be in. All right? And I know I talk about this shit a lot, but I think a lot of people are in situations like this. They don't know how to sit somebody down. It just says, so I'm leaving you. You know, if I was LL Cool J and I stopped, selling tickets and all that type of shit, that would be a side business that I would have. I would take that little fucking rhyme that he had and I would custom do it for everybody in their life. And then people could just write you. All right? And you charge him $100 and he would write you a, 4 bars, it all rhymes, and you just get out exactly what you're saying, Just be like, you eat with your mouth open. I know I said that I'd be true. But you eat with your mouth open. So I'm leaving you. You just get right down to it. Your mom is a fucking cunt. I know I said that I'd be true, but she's fucking always coming over here and something that rhymes with cunt. You got the idea, right? Jesus Christ, what do I got to be LO? Oh my God, here's one for you guys. My boyfriend wants to have his foreskin restored. By the way, how fresh and new are these emails here? Just because it's coming from the female perspective. I love this shit. All right, not saying I don't want guys to email in, but I would like to have a nice balance here. I already say enough shit trashing women, so it helps if women come in trashing guys because, it'll be a nice balance here. All right, my boyfriend wants to have his foreskin restored. Dear Bill, I wanted to get your take on a situation I'm in with my current boyfriend. I'm a girl. All right. A few weeks ago, my boyfriend of 2 years told me that he's become totally upset that he's circumcised and wants to restore his foreskin via taping and stretching methods. What? And basically why he wants to do this is because they say that intercourse, you lose, some percentage of sensitivity when you have your foreskin removed. And all I can say is no guy can tell the difference, whether he has a foreskin or whether he doesn't. Because unless you got laid when you were fucking 6 weeks old, you don't know what you're gaining or what you're missing. So I don't understand why you would do this. So restore his foreskin via taping and stretching methods. She goes, I know. It makes me want to throw up just thinking about it. I wanted to tell him I think he's out of his mind, but I don't want to hurt his feelings. The thing is, I'm totally grossed out by the idea of foreskin. Penises are gross enough already. There's no need to make it even grosser. You know what? Am I the only guy that totally agrees with that? Is there anything more fucking disgusting than a fucking flaccid foreskin-covered dick? I don't even know what it looks like.
It looks like a fucking, I don't know what it looks like. It's just fucking disgusting. I don't even have like a reference. Looks like an elephant dick. I don't even know what it's just gross. It's fucking disgusting. She goes, obviously I can't tell him how I feel. He's clearly having a really hard time with this. He tells me that he feels violated and disfigured. This guy's a pussy. Just throw this guy into the fucking pussy bin and get on with your life. He also claims that foreskins has a lot of advantage for both partners, but it's hard for me to totally buy that considering the fact I have slept with a couple uncircumcised guy and I didn't notice any extra pleasure, although I did use a condom with both guys. Yeah, he's full of shit. He's full of shit. It may be more pleasure for him. I don't know what. I mean, I think it's amazing that women will put a dick in their mouths. You know, the least you can do is try and tidy up down there. You know, how about having a little fucking empathy? I mean, that's just disgusting. It's just fucking extra skin. Yeah, nothing more sexier than extra skin. Yeah, it's like your dick used to be obese and then lost a ton of weight but didn't have enough money to have that surgery to get rid of the extra. Ah, that's gross. There's another 2 paragraphs, people, just preparing you for another 2 paragraphs of having an uncircumcised, stretched, taped dick in your head. Anyway, I think it's absolutely disgusting and totally weird that he wants to do this, and I'm starting to get really turned off by the idea of sleeping with him while he's stretching out his foreskin. He told me he's going to tape it to an elastic strap, which he's going to tie around his leg. I know, what the fuck? Is he just coming up with this shit on his own? I told him that he should see a doctor before he starts to do this, but he doesn't think that doctors know much about this sort of thing. Oh, so he's just going to take it in his own hands. Congratulations, sweetheart. You're dating a fucking moron. Come on. This is the father of your children? Coming up with, taking an erector set to his fucking dick. Do I have to finish reading this? I'm thinking of breaking it off with them. Really? Of course you are. I thought he was a normal guy, but I had no idea he had all this freaky shit going on underneath the surface. Anyways, what do you think about all of this? You got to go LL Cool J. You just got to do what he did. You're stretching out your fucking dick. I know I said I'd be true. You're stretching out your fucking dick, so I'm leaving you. Go fuck yourself. It's over. Yeah, fucking gross. Anyway, what do you think of all this? Am I justified dumping him, or would that make me an insensitive cunt? No, it would make you a strong person. All right? You go with your gut on this one. This guy is trying to do the impossible, like he's that fucking scientist in that Michael J. Fox movie, Back to the Future. He's basically, doing the DeLorean bullshit with his dick. And he doesn't want to go see a doctor. Any doctor would tell him, you can't do that. You know what would be funny, though, is if you dump this guy, right, and it actually works, and then he starts screaming like Billy Mays on TV with his dick stretcher. And he sells it for $19.95 and makes $1 zillion. I'm just playing devil's advocate here. There's a 99% chance you're doing the right thing, but there is a 1% chance you could be walking away from a potential millionaire. Because I got to be honest with you, if that guy actually pulls this off, no pun intended, if he pulls this off and he's able to do it with some household material, and then they already make millions of dollars with those pills that say they're going to make your dick bigger, which we all know it doesn't work. Because if it fucking worked, that would be an international story. And then it still wouldn't work, because then what would happen was everybody would take big dick pills, even guys with big dicks, because they don't want everybody else catching up with them. So then having a little dick would then be like having a 6-inch dick, as opposed to a 3-inch, 4-inch dick, right? Does the math work out on that? Or you get bumped up? You got a 6, 7-inch dick, you're just regular. No, you're actually not regular. You'd have a little dick. So if this guy actually fucking is able to pull this, that doesn't even make sense. If he thought he was disfigured now, wait till he tries to fucking do this. I mean, his dick is going to look like, you know, when those people put that shit in their earlobes? They put those fucking, those circular things. You could shoot a goddamn fucking bow and arrow through somebody's earlobe and not draw any blood. He's going to do that to his dick. Except he's not going to have that thing in there. And it's just going to be all right, Bill. We got it. It's disgusting. Hey, what's going on? It's Bill Burr, and it's the Monday Morning Podcast for Monday, June 25th. Could you hear me looking for the date there? I kind of was looking, and June 25th. June 25th in this motherfucker. Sorry, I'm actually excited because I'm doing it Sunday night, so this fucking thing's going to be up midnight, West Coast time in the continental United States, which means I don't have to deal with anybody, giving me shit. Dude, what the fuck? You know what? What the fuck? Right back at you. I'm in a great goddamn move. My lady, you have left this state, and I am all alone now. And I'm remembering what it was like to be a single man. I just made my freckled ass some motherfucking chicken. I had boneless. I deboned those thighs, too. Like a motherfucker. I'm in such a stupid mood. I had boneless chicken breasts. No, boneless chicken thighs. And broccoli. I can't say that word I can't say broccoli without an Asian accent. I don't know why. I know why, because when I lived in New York City and I was broke, there was a Chinese restaurant around the corner, and I always ordered chicken and broccoli. Okay? If I wasn't eating sketty with fucking Prego, I would call up. Every once in a while, I would treat myself with little Chinese food, and I would call up. They're like, hello, number one. I'm like, hey, number one, what's up? Can I get chicken and broccoli? They made chicken broccoli. Chicken and broccoli. And ever since then, I've said that. So just in case you thought I had any Chinese blood in me, I don't. I consider those people my friends for all the chicken and broccoli they made me back in the late 90s. This sounds like an apology, like a corporate apology. I had no dealings with number one Chinese food. I did stop in there on a number of occasions. I did partake in some of the cuisine that was offered. But at no time was there any inappropriate touching underneath that filthy fucking glass that I don't think was bulletproof. I'll tell you, the Chinese restaurants in fucking New York, where I lived anyways, when I was on the Upper East Side, Jesus Christ. You know what I mean? It was like you'd have it was either a rusty grate between you and the other person, or just filthy glass plastic or some shit. I don't know. I don't. Oh Christ! I don't even know what I'm saying. Look at my dog just fucking laying there. Can you get a goddamn job and contribute? I'm actually jealous. Thing's fucking skinny as hell, dude. My dog's emaciated. Dropped her off at the trainer. I don't know what the fuck happened. What were you doing over there? All right, let's get the podcast. Let's get it back under control. I didn't do shit today. So anyway, so my woman's out of town. My lady, she's out of town. So, you know what's funny is she keeps checking in on me. What are you doing? What's going on? And you know what it is? It's one, because she misses me, and two, because they think that we're fucking morons. And she just wants to hear, what a difficult time I'm having without her. Like, oh, I don't even know how to make cereal. Like I'm some sitcom fucking guy. All right? It's not how it's going down. I did the fucking laundry. I made myself a healthy dinner, a protein no bigger than the size of my head. Isn't that what we're supposed to eat? And a vegetable. All right? Go fuck yourself. And you know what? I had a great time doing it. I haven't cooked in years. And you know why? Because my woman is oppressive in the kitchen.
She loves cooking, so anytime I go to cook, she comes in there. She's looking over my fucking shoulder. Just, why are you cutting them up that way? What are you doing? You're like, fuck it. You do it. You fucking do it. Why do you always get mad? Fucking try to make you a goddamn meal. It's one of the nicest things somebody can do for you. Prepare a meal for you. Just sit there, shut the fuck up, and let me do. What do you think I did? Ate out of goddamn garbage cans before I met you? She always gives me shit about the way I make my eggs. Because she always says I always, like, whenever I make scrambled eggs or whatever, like there's too much egg gets stuck to the fucking pan and it's a pain in the ass to wash. It's like, I'm sorry, I don't spray it with, fuck the ozone layer Pam every goddamn time, dripping with the shit. No wonder it doesn't stick. I'm surprised it doesn't fucking slide right off onto the floor. This is, you know what? This is you're just listening to a pathetic man who's psyched that he's finally in his place by himself and he can just deliver his entire argument without being interrupted. So, I'm telling you, she wants to come back, and as much as she wants the place to be neat, she wants it to be a fucking disaster. She wants to feel needed. She wants to feel that I am fucking lost without her, and I'm such a cunt. I am not going to let that happen. This place is going to be spotless. It's going to be ready for one of those movie drill sergeants. Those guys that get in your face. I didn't hear you. You can come over here and bounce a fucking quarter right off my goddamn face. Whatever the fuck they do. Off the beds. Jeez, right there, I would never make it in the military. I'm supposed to be able to bounce a fucking quarter. Why? Why are you supposed to be able to bounce a quarter? Why? Does that somehow make me, better at fighting the enemy if I can throw dirty change at a blanket and then catch it like the Fonz? What happened to you, sir? What did you really want to do? Did you really want to do this and scream at people? That was your dream, to scream at people for your entire fucking life? That's what you wanted to do? With that Hitler fade? Do you know Hitler had like a Fresh Prince from Bel-Air haircut mixed with a Martin Sheen in Apocalypse? He was Martin Sheen Apocalypse Now on top, but he had a fade down below that Will Smith's character with the 8-ball leather jacket would have loved. He would have loved it. I'm sorry, I've been watching a lot of shit about fucking mass murderers lately. And he always comes up, of course, you know what I mean? Can't have a thing about mass murders without Hitler, right? Just can't fucking do it. Can't have a rock show without Zeppelin, man. Stairway to Heaven. That's what he is. You got to fucking have that shit in there. So that's my goal. That's my goal. And I'm actually wrestling with this. Should I leave the place a little bit dirty so she feels like wanted? Or should I just go fucking like, just come with the pimp vibe? Like, this place is fucking spotless. All right? So you need to mind your P's and Q's, whatever the fuck those letters stand for. What does it stand for? Somebody's going to know. Somebody actually knows when you say mind your P's and Q's. There's some douche listen to this. Yeah, you're a douche. All right? That knows what the fuck that stands for. And they've just been waiting for somebody to fuck it up. All excited so they can be like, I know what it means. Well, send me a goddamn email. And by the way, I haven't said the email for a while here. Oh, what a segue. Fucking classic right there. I should teach a fucking podcast class. Somebody's going to do that. Somebody's going to teach a podcast class the same way somebody teach a comedy class. And that's what you do when you're failing. Whenever you're failing at what you do, you teach it. All right, there we go. We just insulted teachers. All right. The email is bill@themmpodcast.com. Bill at the capital M, capital P, oddcast.com. Bill at the mmpodcast.com. All right? If you don't fucking know it by now, just hit stop and rewind on your little player, and you'll be fine. By the way, can you guys, I know I really appreciate all the input and all that stuff that you guys send to me, because God knows if you didn't send it to me, I wouldn't be able to do this podcast. See, without you, I'm nothing. As they slowly dim the lights and I go into some sort of pandering fucking song. Like that Jackson Brown song, singing about the roadies. like he gives a shit. You know? I think he fucking pissed him off, and they weren't setting his piano up right, so he wrote him a song just so they'd stop fucking with him so he could get rid of his tour. And then somehow he goes out of that to, oh, won't you stay? Just fucking, the whole thing is, I hate pandering. I don't like it. And you know what the worst part of pandering is? Watching a performer go on stage and pander to the audience is watching you fucking animals eat it up. You eat it up every goddamn time. I gotta tell you something. We played a lot of cities, but Hartford, you guys are the best. And they'll be, woo! Give me a fucking break. There's nothing good about Hartford. You know, you don't believe me? Ask the Whalers. Why do you think they left? You couldn't even hold on to the fucking Whalers. How does that make you feel, Hartford? You know why they left? Because that stupid-ass song you used to play. What's it called? The Brass City Orchestra?